This episode of Techno Buffalo is brought to you by our fine feathered friends at Netflix. Welcome back to the second ever episode of Rettinger's Rants. I'm your host, John Rettinger, and this is the new show where I rant on anything from the world of technology. This is a substitute show for What's the App, so if you guys want to see What's the Apps come back, leave a comments down below. Or if you want to see Rettinger's Rants continue, also leave those comments down below. Up this week is a court case. We got Apple, we got Samsung. These two cellular behemoths are going head to head. And I got some opinions on all this legal mumbo jumbo that's going on. This is Rettinger's Rant. Let's get ranting. Apple is suing the bejeebus out of Samsung to block sales of pretty much everything that they have. And it all boils down to just a few patents that Apple is trying to defend. So before I get into my feelings and impressions on it, let me at least bring you up to date with the facts. Up for grabs here are three major patents. They range from stuff to screen rotation, some design, and some of the kinetic scrolling that you can do on an iPhone. Apple is also claiming that the designs of the Galaxy Tab and the rest of Samsung phones mimic the design of Apple's iOS series of devices. Apple wants to block Samsung from pretty much selling all of its products in the US, and on top of that, it wants them to pay $2.5 billion in damages. That's with a B. But if Samsung somehow wins, they want Apple to pay 2.4% of every iOS device sold to Samsung, so we could also be looking at billions of dollars. Samsung's claiming that Apple infringed on some of its wireless patents, how it does 3G, 2G handoff, and how it interfaces with the cellular radios. First, should Apple have even been issued these patents in the first place? Apple's been issued some wide-ranging patents, things like slide to unlock, the design of a tablet, which is pretty much a rectangle. Personally, I think the patents that Apple had were way too broad to be issued. It'd be like me asking for a patent on the number 7. Anybody who does math is gonna use the number 7. And hey, you now owe me money for thinking it. You owe me 42.6. Apple's got the right to defend their patents, but should they? The beauty of our legal system is you got the right to sue for pretty much everything. I got a right to sue you for looking at me wrong. I got a right to sue you for writing negative comments, because hey, it's defamation. But that doesn't necessarily mean that I should go ahead and do that. This battle of Apple versus Samsung is widely viewed by me too as a proxy battle between Apple and Google. I don't think Apple wants to go up against Google. So it's maybe the first time we're seeing a bit of a scared Apple shaking in their little space boots about the threat of Android. Now, certainly there's the specter of Steve Jobs who said, Android is a stolen product, it's a stolen operating system, and I will spend every money in our war chest to defend it. The court case, though, has revealed some very interesting things. Among them, people have said that they thought that the Samsung Galaxy Tab looked like an iPad, and they were confused when they went to buy them. I get that this looks like this. Maybe you can't even tell which one is which here. This is the Galaxy Tab 10.1. This is the new iPad. But really, consumers can't tell the difference between the products that they're buying. It doesn't say Samsung on the box. It doesn't have a giant Apple logo. That's like walking into a Ford dealership and being upset you didn't walk out with a Chevy. If that's true and Apple's claiming that's true, then people are even bigger idiots than I expected. They deserve to have the wrong product. They're confusing buying them. Granted, if they were up separately, no product display behind them, they had no packaging, you had to sort of pick one just by looking at the front of it, yeah, okay, I could see the confusion. But that is absolutely ridiculous. Think if Apple thought they had a weak case, they'd be angling for a settlement. And Apple does not appear to want to settle this case at all. On the low end, the $2.5 billion, but on the bigger side, really impact Samsung's bottom line by barring the sale in the US of Samsung devices. That means no more Galaxy S3, potentially no more Galaxy Nexus, no more Galaxy Tab, perhaps no more Galaxy Notes. No matter who wins this court case, we lose. We absolutely are going to lose. Whenever there's competition for the consumer dollar, the consumer wins. I love when Apple comes out with something new because it means Google's going to do something better. I love when Google comes out with something because it means Apple's going to do something better. Competition is key for consumers, and we're trying to look at a marketplace that Apple's trying to make less competitive. If Samsung wins the case and Apple's got to pay 2.5%, then we're going to see an increase in price presumably on Apple products. And then, hey, look at that. We also lose. There's no winner in this case. The consumer is always going to get screwed. Apple's sort of perception in the world has been of this innovative company that delivers cutting-edge products. That certainly is still true, but now they're also cutting-edge company, delivers great products, that also is throwing their weight around behind what I consider to be superfluous lawsuits. Now, all that being said, there's no doubt in my mind at all that Samsung's designs have been influenced by Apple. Clearly, they've been influenced by Apple 100%. Look at Samsung's products before the iPhone, what they look like now. not even the same sphere at all. Now I get sort of what Apple's saying, all of the time that goes into research and development for these products, all the cost that goes into research and development of the design. Sort of get what it feels like, what it looks like, the materials that go into it. That costs a lot of money, and that money is reflected in the final cost of the product. Samsung is skipping that whole process, saying here's what Apple did, let's come close to mimicking it, saving all that money and time, and being able to offer the product at a very similar competitive price. Higher profit margins for Samsung, lower for Apple, and Apple saying, hey, that's not fair, we're not competing on the same level. But the honest answer is, that's business. So which one's gonna win? I'm not entirely sure. I do think though that Samsung's got a really strong case. I think Apple's going to probably have to settle this. Let's take a quick break, and I want to thank our friends and sponsors at Netflix. You know Netflix, you use it, you stream all kinds of stuff with it. Netflix is really the best way to get streaming movies and TV shows right on your television. Netflix streams TV shows and movies directly to your home, saving you time, money, and hassle. As a Netflix member, you can watch TV episodes and movies instantly on your PC, Mac, right on your TV with your Xbox 360, PS3, or even your Nintendo Wii. Watch as many movies as you want, anytime you want, and cancel anytime. Get a free 30-day trial. Go to netflix.com/buffalo. Sign up today and get your Netflix on. Thank you guys for watching another episode of Rettinger's Rants. Love to hear all your thoughts and questions, whether or not you think I'm right or wrong, what side of the fence Samsung's on or Apple's on, or what side you're on. Check us out at technobuffalo.com for the latest and greatest tech news. I'm John Rettinger. I'll see you later. Bye-bye.